quick. Ben, I call this my Norwegian PowerPoint.
Probably is.
How many of us in here are getting a Social Security check or have a family member who's getting a Social Security check? All right, we all have skin in that game. And I'm going to make a couple requests of you today at the end of my presentation, which just takes about 5 minutes. Because the discussion that's going on now in Washington, if you're bothering at all to watch the press, and I don't know some days why we bother even, but the discussion is about the federal budget, the deficit, the debt, the grand bargain, all kinds of things. Discretionary spending, non-discretionary spending, 75 years, 10 years, and finally they throw so much stuff in the air, we finally just say, what the heck. But the devil's in the details. And there's a big detail looming out there that's going to affect all our lives, it's going to affect this organization, it's going to affect our state. And that is that in this discussion, hidden in all the noise, is the confusion of Social Security with the budget, with the deficit. Social Security, remember, is not an entitlement. It's a trust fund. It's a contract. It's a contract we all make with each other the day we started work. And it has nothing to do with the deficit. In fact, on the contract, I'll explain in a minute. This trust fund was designed to generate continuing revenues to pay the beneficiaries after they retire or were disabled or injured. The fund was adjusted about 30 years ago, anticipating the baby boomer group that's come through, the bulge. It generated over 2.7 trillion in surplus, which we are now drawing down as we pay into the future. If we do nothing, in 2038, the trust fund will only be able to pay out 75% of projected benefits if we do nothing. The way to fix that, of course, is to remove the cap. Because people making over $113,000 a year pay nothing more than the rest of us. In other words, Bob makes $500,000 a year. He doesn't pay anything more than I do making $113,000 a year. We have to proportion that mine back. I don't know about yours. So if you're beyond $113,000 or something collect. We talked about that several years ago. And the determination of the adjustment of the benefits paid out is based on the Consumer Price Index, cost of living. And they jigger that around every so often. They jiggered it around a couple years ago and told Chuck and I, for example, that there was no cost of living increase. So we got zero increase in our Social Security check. Remember that? Yep. And I thought, how can that be? My gas costs are up, my insurance costs are up. So I went and looked at their formula. Well, they included a couple things in there. Housing prices were down. Yacht prices were down. Things, of course, geezers like I buy all the time, right? So the Consumer Price Index itself gets jiggered every so often. Well, now the new gimmick is to call what they call chain it. The argument designed by a bunch of billionaires, wasn't designed by people like you and I, was that people facing with increased costs will make substitute selections. For example, when the price of T-bones go up, we'll buy round steak. Of course, in my case, the prices go up on beef, ground beef, I'll probably have to buy cat food. In other words, there's certain substitutions you can make. But if my heating bill goes up, I live in an apartment, I can't start a fireplace. I don't have a wood stove, right? Certain adjustments you can't make. The chain CPI will affect us into the future the longer we live. What it says, the earlier adjustment 6 years ago takes $40 out of my check right now. The chain CPI will increasingly take more out of our check as we go along. If you live to 75, it will take about 3% more. If you live to 85, it will take about 6% more. If you live to 95, it will take 9% more. At a time when you actually need more money. Now, in Montana, for example, the average beneficiary, all up together, gets about $1,250 a month. And this is equivalent to $7 an hour if you're actually working. That's the poverty wage level. Now, in Montana, about 300,000 of us part-time and full-time work every year. And of that 300-some thousand, only 5%, or 17,000, make more than the cap. Well, 5% make way more, the rest of us make an average this amount. If we cut Social Security further, you will find a greater demand on services that Opportunities Incorporated provides. And more of us out there in the countryside will be asking, what substitutions can we make? So here's the two requests I make of you. First is individual. Find a piece of chain, plate chain, log chain, key chain, doesn't matter what. Put your name and phone number on it and write no CPI chain and take it down to your tester's office, August's office, Dane's office. Respectfully put it on the desk and ask them to stop the chain CPI talk. Get that completely out of the budget, out of the discussion. Now, if you take a log chain down, Chuck, one like my friend did that's about this size, be sure you put it on the desk carefully because otherwise it'll break the glass. And that's the first thing I request you do. Second thing I request that you do is to, as a board, take a position to oppose publicly the change CPI. Because the slogan is, let's change Congress, not the CPI. Questions? I have to run off to a habitat dedication. I'll be back. I hope there's a spud left. I'll be here for questions later. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Ray. Thank you very much.